And I always hear like this very odd argument of, they're just hungrier in college. It's because they're not fucking being fed. You know what I mean? Like they're not getting.
They're not being fed. That is true.
So
that's why Jameis Winston stole those crab legs.
Dream Supply. Giving you the tools and knowledge to make your dreams your reality.
Well, this is one, it's just one topic that I wanted to talk about. And I'm really passionate because right now, it's sports or football season has really geared back up going into fall. And I've given up being a sports fan altogether, completely. And I used to be incredibly passionate, super, super passionate. Baseball, football, everything. And I gave it completely 1,000% up.
I feel that. The only team you care about.
Nope, not one.
Is Clemson because I went to school there and have an attachment to that.
I mean, I don't know. And I think, I was never attached to college sports. There's a lot of conflict to that. I think they pimp out players. Like it's crazy the amount of money that colleges and coaches and everything in between make, and students, which are adults, cannot make one. They can't accept one thing. And
right.
The people that would argue and say, "Well, they're getting a free education."
No, they're not. Because they can't go to, they don't have time to study.
Well, the thing is even at your higher end schools, say that education is $40,000 a year at your higher end schools, that's still a drop in the bucket to what the school is making off the back of them.
Right.
So, I've never been a college sports fan just because of that, because I'm like, but then it's like you have sports football and basketball where it's like what they have to do to go pro. So, and I always hear like this very odd argument of, they're just hungrier in college. It's because they're not fucking being fed. You know what I mean? Like they're not getting.
They're not being fed. That is true.
So
that's why Jameis Winston stole those crab legs.
I mean, there's just a lot of it's crazy, especially like when you do the numbers of what the NCAA makes, just in
boatloads of money,
dude. It's insane amount of money, and then just the. But there was it does my decision to give up completely supporting sports was. Had nothing to do with anything like that. It had to. I had like this thing where it just clicked in my head. It did absolutely if my team won, it did nothing for my life. If my team lost, it did nothing for my life. Like it didn't progress me one way or the other. It didn't change my dreams or aspirations. It didn't better my life. It didn't worsen my life. Like it did nothing. It was like, great, they won. And then reality just, like on Sundays, football was football Sundays. We would either go to a sports bar, we had people over, and, the moment in which it was going on was cool. Like, I mean, we had good experiences in that, but it was like, at the end of the day, all the money that's spent and all, it just wasn't of value. Like I thought about how much energy I was putting into
caring about
something that had absolutely no impact on my.
And it's like in professional sports, I feel like they rope you in with that city name.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you really think about it, they don't really have anything to do with that city. That'd be like you going all in on a company just because they were started in a city that you live near.
I think that's true because I think one of the greatest examples of that are the Atlanta Braves. For one, I think that's really where my downfall with sports started. It was like, oh, we're going to revamp our team, so they like completely got rid of everybody except for Freddie Freeman. And then at the end of the year, when they got rid of every player that you were familiar with and became a fan of, then they're like, oh, we're moving to Cobb County.
Right. So now you're rooting for a team that doesn't play in Atlanta. You don't know anybody. So then at that point, in my eyes, you're just rooting for dirty laundry.
I don't know. And then it was like, and then the whole shit with the Falcons blowing the Super Bowl, and I was just like, dude, you know what?
Tom Brady just knows how to win. That's just how it goes.
But at the end of the day,
if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
But here's the thing. This is the way. This is how I looked at it. I said, you know what? What if the Falcons would have won? What would it have done for my life? No. I get to wear a shirt that says Super Bowl. I didn't win no fucking Super Bowl. Like, I don't understand.
It's a marketing. The city on there is marketing. They need to get rid of the cities because the city has nothing to do with the team.
But
they just play 50% of their games there, allegedly. Because the Atlanta Braves don't play in Atlanta.
Here's the thing. And not only that, but the thing is that win or lose, it wouldn't have done anything for me. Except I would have spent money, give them more money to buy a shirt that said, oh, my team won the Super Bowl, and now I'm just marketing. And, you know, I don't get it. I think it was just like a thing where I was just like, you know what? I want to put my energy into things I have a little bit more control over and a little bit more impact over, and something that I'm going to see the value in. And, you know, and it's not that I'm necessarily like against sports, because I did love them. I was a big fan for many, many years. It just was like, I got to a point where it wasn't, if I was going to put my energy and time and money into something, I wanted to start getting a return on something. Mm-hmm. Like, and they're just, and some people say the team winning is the return on it. That, to me though, that wasn't a big enough return. Like, it wasn't enough for me to just keep on spending the amount of time, especially baseball, dude. They play 160.
They play a lot of games. They play so many games. It's ridiculous.
And every night I would come home and watch that shit.
I can't watch baseball.
I did. It was the first sport. It was the first sport I ever learned. Like, I was 5 years old, and my grandfather.
It's fun to play.
No, it was the first sport I learned, and I learned it watching television with my grandfather. And it's crazy because, like, my oldest son, we would be sitting in the living room watching TV, and I'm calling the pitches as they're being, like, because I just have watched it for so long. Like, I just know the sport. Like, to this day, I mean, I haven't, like, as soon as the Braves did all that bullshit, like, I was like, dude, I'm done. And I was done just because I was like, that's a shitty thing you do, your fans, and I'm not gonna, like, I went on this whole, I'm on a Braves strike type shit, you know what I mean? So it was just like, and then it just kind of trickled down from there, and I was like, you know what, like, if it's not adding value to my life, if it's not adding value to my family's life or the people around me, if it's not pursuing what my goals are, like, if it's not adding to that, I don't need to be doing it.
Dream Supply, giving you the tools and knowledge to make your dreams your reality. Follow Michael on Instagram at directedbym3.